Okay, now, this is for everybody who actually watched What the Bleep Do We Know and the Bruce Lipton video on that basically talks about that you control your genetics, not genetics control you. I know Bruce Lipton has a whole bunch, but that's his major one. A lot of this stuff I don't agree with. But if you watch my videos, you'll know that in What the Bleep I won't have agreed with everything. But there, you know, guys, What the Bleep Do We Know is like you guys are just now learning the ABCs and how each letter, the sound it makes towards being able to read. That's quantum mechanics, unified field. I'm not sure why string theory is still theory. My guess is that it's a theory until enough scientists agree with it, and then it becomes it becomes actual fact. But I could be wrong on that. I haven't figured that out lately. I used to know what that meant, but nowadays I just don't know what it means. I think it's just a bunch of scientists who are kind of big shots that change it over. But if you've watched those things that I told you to watch, now we can have more of a conversation. Now, something that nobody has asked me, which I find the questions that you ask me interesting, because I think I've answered 95% of them already in a video. But then there's things that I thought people would ask me that they don't. It's just really weird. Because I've told you that there's consciousness in everything on this planet. But nobody has asked me, well then, how are humans different than all of that consciousness on this planet? Well, there is a difference. There's a difference. Humans have that thing that they think makes them better than all the other consciousness called a frontal lobe that makes you be able to change your mind. Humans can change their mind. Okay, everybody else pretty much doesn't. They just kind of go with the flow. They're either outside time-space or they operate just moment to moment in the now. And they don't accumulate emotions or data or ways to prejudge everything around them. And that's what humans do. They collect experience, they collect knowledge, and then they prejudge the moment of what might be, what kind of, usually a problem. Usually they take that to a fearful place, and then they go a different direction outside of the flow, outside of the now. Everything else pretty much doesn't do that. Humans do. Now, this is not a game I enjoy. You know why I'm here. If you haven't, then watch my videos. But when humans do that, or specifically humans, a lot of the other alien beings that you would call aliens don't do that quite as much. They're very they don't move around as much as humans do. I mean, humans will go, okay, this is a good thing. Okay, I've changed my mind. Now it's a horrible thing, and they can do that in a split second. They can access some data that they've forgotten, and then they can decide, oh yeah, it's a horrible thing now. Okay? That's what humans do. Now, in the process of doing that, of course, they're creating. Every thought, every deed, every action is creating, and there is a ripple effect out in all that is. And instead of the ripple becoming less than, it never dissipates. As a matter of fact, frequently it accumulates energy. Now, that's going to be opposite of what your scientists believe happens, but I don't really care what they think. It will accumulate energy, depending upon who picks up that energy frequency wave thingamajig. So, you could scowl at somebody here and cause a galactic war where the bad guys win way, way, way out there. By the same token, you could smile at somebody and you could cause galactic peace. Yeah, it's that strong. It's that strong. Because of that, in this creation, humans are very important because they do a lot of creating with that. They do much more creating than a lot of the other consciousnesses. Consciousnesses? A little tiny spider. I think I messed up its web when I walked over here, so sorry. So they do a lot of, humans do a lot of creating in this creation. So from my perspective, looking outside in, it just looks like beautiful designs and frequencies. You in the bodysuit will feel that there's creations of good things and bad things. But outside the bodysuit, it's just phenomenally beautiful, and I thank all the human beings for doing that. It is adding phenomenally to the whole. However, I don't want to play. I've got other games that I like to play better. So that is the difference between humans and all the other creations on this planet that are what you think this is their original planet. Okay? Now, it is done in other ways with other aliens that are on this planet that you would call aliens, but it's done in a completely different way. Most creations, including this one, do not do redundancy. Now, you should have learned that in What the Bleep Do We Know, whenever you understand that your creation is unique to you. Now, I want you all to remember that part. I can't remember what it is. This isn't new data, by the way. We know that the human brain and all of your senses collect, it's either 2 million or 2 billion bits per second, right? Okay, it's those bits that change your timelines. That's why your timelines move so fast. It's collection of those, your mind collecting all this skin suit stuff, collecting information, and it actually goes 2 million to 2 billion-ish moving around per second. Now, out of that movement, you're going to be able to analyze with that frontal lobe of yours about 2,000 bits per second. Okay, hear me. Let's go to the short end of that. You collect 2 million bits per second, but you can analyze 2,000 bits per second. These 2,000 bits are collected by you individually based on your experience in life, okay? Like I said, walking through the house, okay? Now, what are the chances, I don't care if you're a Siamese twin, what are the chances that you are going to be around anyone who collects the same 2,000 bits out of 2 million per second? What are the chances that anyone is collecting the same 2,000 bits that you are? Zero? Absolutely zero. So when you are arguing with somebody, not only have you changed timelines dramatically, but you haven't even collected the same 2,000 bits. So I don't care if he is your twin flame. I don't care if she is your soulmate. I don't care if they're your child, your mother, your father, your best friend. The chances that they are collecting, and this is your own human provability fact, not mind jumping timelines, this is you guys' scientific data, states that you are saving, putting in your mind 2,000 bits out of 2 million to 2 billion per second. The chances that you are with anyone, or a group of anyone, who is collecting the same 2,000 bits is nil. There's no way. There is no way it can happen. The sooner you figure that out, the less you will stop judging people, stop warring with each other, stop fighting with each other. You've got to understand that your experience is completely unique to you. No one will understand you. No one will get you until you understand, until you guys use telepathy, which is why we use telepathy, by the way, because that is too big. Now, with telepathy, we not only know what 2,000 bits you chose, second to second, as a human, but we know why. We also know the rest of the bits instantly. We know all of it with telepathy. But outside of telepathy, your experience is unique to you. That is how we do things as creator gods. Nobody does redundancy. It's just crazy. Is there anything on this planet that is absolutely perfectly the same? If you think it is, you're wrong. If you had better telescopes, could look better, you would see that everything is in some way slightly unique. Because that's how it's done. We don't create the same thing over and over and over and again. It defeats the purpose. What's the point? The point is to do things differently, to make it different, to experience it different. You are very, very unique and different, and we've made sure of it. You've made sure of it in this game. Because your mind cannot, your frontal lobe, you cannot sort through, you cannot collect more than 2,000 bits out of 2 million to 2 billion per second. That guarantees that your experience will be unique to you. Now, if you're judging everybody based on your 2,000 bits, can you see how absolutely phenomenally asinine that is? Ridiculously asinine that is. Okay? So I've told you to stop judging because that's what 4D is. Now I've told you why you stop judging. Because you're judging based on your 2,000 bits that they haven't even got at all. They haven't accumulated your 2,000 bits. So you're judging off a fact that you believe is fact and truth, but it's only your fact and truth. You've accumulated by accumulating your 2,000 bits. So instead of judging everyone else based on your 2,000 bits out of 2 million to 2 billion per second, how about turning around to the other person and saying, okay, this is my 2,000 bits per second. What's yours? And if all of you would start doing that, can you see how you could start adding everybody's 2,000 bits and make something phenomenally awesome? Or you could stay in 4D and continue to argue that your 2,000 bits is more right, more accurate, more true than that person sitting next to you. You'll continue to get divorced. You'll continue to break up your family. That's what it's all about. It's about judgment. It's not about whether or not you have religion or not. It's about the fact that you cannot force somebody else to have your 2,000 bits. Now, parents and children, you are raised and you've already got a whole bunch of judgments going on, so you're looking around and collecting 2,000 bits through those eyes. Your children do not have those experiences, so they're collecting different 2,000 bits. And you're making them see your 2,000 bits. Needless to say, since the beginning of time, children and parents have fought. Wonder why? Wonder why? Now, the further apart a couple is, the less time that they spend together. He goes to work this way, she goes to work that way. They have different friends, they have different experiences. Now they come home together. What are the chances that your 2,000 bits are worlds apart? So you fight, and you get divorced. What are we up to in America now? What, 65, 70% divorce rate? Wonder why. Your kids are watching this. Your kids are watching this. I know a whole bunch of 25-year-old kids are going, nah, not doing the marriage thing, don't want the kids thing, because they've watched all of the controversy. When you understand that it's all about trying to accumulate everybody else's 2,000 bits, figure out that you are limited. You are limited. That your little flashlight can only see a tiny little dot. But if you want to see the 2 million to 2 billion, the only way to do it is to reach out to people and say, okay, this is what I saw. What did you see? No judgment there, accumulation. No judgment, accumulation. When you can do that, then you'll start towards 5D. As long as you insist that your little flashlight has got all of the truth, and you're the only one that's got it, you will continue to fight, you will continue to judge, and you will stay right smack dab in 4D, which is fine. Again, very, very cool creations going on in there. Very, very cool. But 5D, you got to realize, you've just got this tiny, tiny little flashlight. Looking around, you can all get in a line, you can all buddy up, and you can put a spotlight on that whole situation. Or you can argue with each other. Okay? A lot of arguing with me done over the phone, on emails, on comments, and I'm just not going to argue with you guys anymore. I'm just not. I'm not going to tell you the same thing over. It's exhausting, and it just makes me sick and will kill me. So I'm going to give you this information. I will keep thinking of things and doing the videos, and I'm going to get back out into nature, which is what I love. Okay? All right, guys. Love you bunches. That's it for me, and big hugs. I'll talk to you later. Bye now.